Galaxy Star, Starry Star, A True Friend by Swedish Jump. Long ago, in a distant part of Equestria, lived a unicorn and a piggy couple, which had 2 daughters together. One of the daughters was actually a piggy, while the other one was an alicorn. And their names were Starry Star and Galaxy Star. Galaxy Star was the oldest. When they were still young, they had much fun together, but Galaxy Star, she preferred more to study of magic and other things. But she wanted to spend some more time with her sister. But her parents often told her, since she was an alicorn, she had all the time in the entire world she had. So she then was often take to her to study all day to make new study of magic and other topics at school. Even Galaxy Star wanted to sneak out during nights so she could spend some time with her sister. But her parents often then told her, you should study first. Study go first, then your sister can you play with. But Dad, I want to play with my sister. No, not until you are finished studies. Now go to Rome and study, Galaxy Star. Galaxy Star's relationship with her parents was kind of rocky. Sometimes they were very kind and generous to her, but some other times when she wanted to play rather than study, then her parents started to argue with her. Study goes first, then she could enjoy some play with her sister. And how much time would she even do some play with her sister? That was not that often. Maybe sometimes only a few times during the year, like their birthdays, Heartswarming Eve, and New Year's. Those was the only part of the time of the year which Galaxy Star had free time to play with her own sister. But she wanted to spend more time with her sister, to try to focus on the study, to study all her works, all the studies ahead. Like if she had to read 10 pages of 2 books, she would read them all at once and take some notes and then practice the magic at the same time. Then when she had proven her that she could spend some time, she thought if she could finish the study faster, she could spend more time with her sister. But it proved to be wrong. Because one day when she had thought she had studied in for a big test with her parents and one of her private teachers, it ended up in a disaster. She literally blew an explosion in one of the Winbig's potion. It caused an explosion which destroyed almost an entire room. But after her parents found out that she hadn't studied it as hard and carefully as she claimed to them, so only then when they found out also that she had tried to study as much as possible and made these notes of her studies and everything, just to spend some more time with her sister. That was the last drop for them. They told Galaxy Star, if you don't finish your studies, you will never see your sister again. That was the last word her father tell her, because afterwards, after that night, she left the castle, their home, and disappeared in the night. Because early next morning, Starry Star found a note in her bedroom, just from her sister, explaining why she's gone and why she won't even come back. And Starry Star, she had a fight with her sister earlier. But Starry Star felt betrayed her own sister, that she left her home and her air just because she didn't want to have any connection with her parents, since they often argued with her, telling her to study, that she couldn't handle any of that anymore. Because Starry Star felt so betrayed and anger of her sister, and she promised to herself not to talk to her sister at any more if she would return, which she did. Many years later, Galaxy Star did actually return, but by this time, her parents didn't want to see her at all. They said, "You're not welcome in here! Leave! You're not part of this family anymore! Leave!" "But father, I want to talk to Starry Star. She hates you because you left us. You are never part of this family anymore. You are my daughter. Leave!" Galaxy Star took that very to his heart. She started to cry and begged her parents to see her sister, but they didn't let her. Galaxy Star once over and over tried to beg for talk to her sister, but her parents wouldn't let her. So what else could she do than she left once again. And when Starry Star was about 20 years old, she left her home after she had finished her own studies with a high grade. She wanted to see more Equestria to see what they could offer her, since it was nothing more that at home she could do, and her parents were grateful that she had finished her studies and with high honor. She started to explore Equestria to see if there was much more to see, if it is possible to find her true purpose, for something where her studies could bring her to some more work. And the search and exploration of Equestria took days, months, soon it turned to years, decades. Soon it has been 90 years. But one day she decided to move and settle down in one town where she had been through at least several times before in the past, and that was Ponyville. But she didn't know at the time her own sister lived in the mountains not far from Ponyville, but she didn't see her for years. She still hated her. And even her own sister is an acorn that makes her immortal. But since Starry Star is a Pegasi, she had inherited some sort of long life from her mother, because she was almost like immortal herself, but she hasn't aged for almost 100 years since after she left her home. But one day, many years later, in Ponyville, when she was working at this local bakery, she saw a mare looking exact like her own sister. She thought, okay, that cannot be. That can't be Galaxy Star. But it turned out to be her. At first, Galaxy Star saw her, but Starry Star said, "You're not my sister anymore. I don't want to see you. I hate you what you did. But please, I understand you are angry with me, but please, give me a chance to explain why." "No, no, I won't. Go! I hate you!" And Galaxy Star just left, returned home to her home with Tirek. But it is some time later on, Starry Star found out exactly what Galaxy Star wanted to talk to her about. And after she found out that when she heard that Galaxy Star was talking to Twilight and Tirak about her past, exactly why she left her home and why she was living in the mountains near town, and said that her own sister didn't want to talk to her. That was one of the reasons that her parents didn't explain to her. They never mentioned exactly why. They said just that Galaxy Star was dangerous, that she was no longer part of the family because she was too dangerous to be held there. So they said they have forced her to leave. No, she thought that they forced her away because she was too dangerous to be near any of her or anyone in any pony in the city where they lived. Because at first they told her that she left her home, their home, because she didn't want her to do anything more with her parents or her sister, that she hated all of them. But it turns later on that her parents did make another story telling, no, that just another thought we were wrong. They said that, no, your sister left us because we didn't want her to be near, because she was so too dangerous for us and for you. And from here, two different side stories. Starry Star didn't know exactly what to believe, either her parents' first story or the second one. But after hearing Galaxy Star's side of the story, and she could see and feel her pain, and then she walked up to Galaxy Star and explained what and asked to talk to her. And that was the first talk that they had together as siblings for over 100 years. Tirak and Twilight left them alone so they could talk. And they talked for nearly an hour. And afterwards, they both hugged and have forgiven each other what happened. Because Galaxy Star explained what happened. Since her parents often told her, study, study, study is the most important. If you want to be any pony in this world, you have to study. You have to study. And her mother always said, listen to your father. Study is the best thing that they can offer. Look at us. We studied so much and we became grateful, and we have a great fortune. We got a great home. We have two beautiful daughters, and we want the same thing to you. We want you to have the greatest education as possible so you can find a great husband one day and start a family. So until then, no more playing for your sister until you have finished your studies. That is the most number one rule for you. But she often had asked, why couldn't she study with her own sister? Because you have magic, she doesn't. That is the important of that. That means you will have separate lesson class from her. Except from gymnastic, of course, but rather than you will have two separate classrooms with no talking at all. If you obey this, if you don't listen to our rules, you will be grounded and will never see your sister for days or perhaps weeks. They were almost like threatening her not to see her own sister, her only sibling she had. But now, 100 years later, they both had forgiven each other and explained why they didn't see much. And from that moment first, Starry Star had never felt so much happy in her heart. But even then, Galaxy Star had asked Starry Star if they could restart their relationship as sisters and as friends. And Starry Star would much like to do that. But then Galaxy Star came up with an idea that they should spend their day together with playing games, which they should done. when they were just Phyllis, like playing hide and seek, playing some other children just games, and just to talk to, just play to each other, as which they never did, except for those holidays. In Starry Star, she wanted to do it. Most of the time they spent a lot of time just playing games with each other, playing games over and over. And Twilight and Tarek, all that I could say about this was that I'm happy for Galaxy Star that she had connected with her sister once again. Yeah, agreed. They have been apart from each other for 100 years. And this is the best thing that can heal all wounds, even if it will take more time to heal. I agreed, Twilight. But the best, we leave them alone. How about you and I go back to the castle to have some drink, some tea, or just talk? We'll leave them alone. That sounds a great idea, Tarek. And they both left. For the rest of the day, Galaxy Star and Starry Star played games, hide and seek, even swimming, chasing around in the games. Just had much great time together, and the forest, and the meadows, in the town, everything. But even then, Galaxy Star felt still a little bit heartbroken that her parents lied to her what she had learned from her sister. But luckily for that, her parents wasn't alive anymore. They both passed for nearly 100 years ago. But now, first Galaxy Star couldn't even believe or even forgive her parents what they had told her and her sister about any lies they couldn't come up with. But to the end, Starry Star explained and said to Galaxy Star that it should at least forgive her parents, because that will pain her if she doesn't give them any forgiveness. And she was right. For after a few days after they had their first time to get playing some games, Galaxy Star couldn't sleep much. He had almost like nightmares because her parents telling her the same story, her the same words over and over in her dreams. Even they tried to forget about dreaming something else, but the same dream came back over and over. So she followed Starry Star's advice, and she told parents that, well, she said to her sister that she forgave her parents and she means it. And the same evening and the same night, all the nightmares of her parents with the same old message over and over was now gone. And that was thanks to the cost that she had forgiven her parents. But she would never see them again, and even she would say to them that she forgave them, but she didn't want to do anything to do with them anymore. And that was the reason she forgave them. But deep down in her heart, she doesn't believe what they could have told. What they told her about the lies of her own sister. But anyways, from all this, she forgave her parents and forgave her sister. And they both have restored their relationship as sisters once over again. But most of this time together, they had a really much great time. Galaxy Star explained all the things she has been doing over there for the last 100 years, and she even explained to and told her sister all the things she had learned what she had seen. She started traveling around Equestria just after she had forced to leave her home a second time. And she then explained just nearly 50 years before she left the exploration and moved to the mountains. She found that anywhere she went, she didn't feel any more welcome anywhere. She couldn't find any pony that could be her friend. Even many ponies want to be her friend, but she thought, okay, these ponies are just faking, pretending to be my friend, so they could break my trust and leave me if I'm like a garbage or anything. So I decided to leave that alone. So I decided to travel around the Equestria and find my own place to stay. And when I found the mountains, I felt more home there than anywhere in Equestria, said Galaxy Star to her sister. But are you even sure? But you left a note. Yes. The first night when I did came back is the next day after I left, but I couldn't stay. I didn't feel at home because if I did that, my parents would just tell me the same thing. You're not welcome anymore. What should I do then? Use my magic to punish them? No, that is not me. And since I now have you back, and I have great numbers of friends, and I have T-Rex, which is something special for me. I don't want to lose any of them or you again. But Galaxy Star, you know that I'm not completely immortal. You know that one day I will die, pass away like our parents did. I know, but at least I had to get some time with you, even for this. And Galaxy Star was right. She wanted to spend all the remaining time with her own sister, even that would be the last thing that she would do. Because she loves her sister and she wanted to make the best time they had, even if it would be for the next 20 or 50 years. Because Galaxy Star really loved her sister so much, and she wanted to be her best friend. And Starry Star had once said to her sister that she is her true friend. And when she heard about those words, it made her start to cry. Galaxy Star could never be more proud and happy to be a true friend with her sister once again. But it happens from time to time that they leave their works so they can spend a day together to either play games or just like hide and seek or chasing around or go to the lake just to relax, spend time together. And that's how Galaxy Star was once again reconnected with her sister, Starry Star, once again after 100 years and became a true friend. The end.